Have you ever stopped to think if everything being said about Kim Soo Hyun is actually true? Over the past few days, the internet has been talking about nothing else. Every hour, a new headline, a new accusation emerges, and it's almost impossible not to feel anger toward the actor and even more sorrow over the tragic death of Kim Se-ron. But what if I told you that all of this is still just speculation? Nothing has been proven, and yet Kim Soo Hyun is already paying the price. Canceled contracts, a tarnished reputation, and even rumors that he left the country. And all of this without even having the chance to defend himself. Is it fair to destroy someone's career, mental health, and maybe even their life over something we don't even know is real? We've seen this story before with Kim Seon-ho, Nam Joo-hyuk, and unfortunately with Sully. And the question remains, do we really want to repeat this cycle? Today, I'm going to show you why you're being unfair to Kim Soo Hyun, at least for now. Let's begin. But first, in case you're behind and haven't seen all the accusations against the actor, I'll give you a brief summary so we can move forward. In recent days, actor Kim Soo Hyun has been at the center of one of South Korea's biggest controversies in recent years. It all started with allegations that he was romantically involved with actress Kim Se-ron when she was still underage. The accusations gained momentum after statements from the actress's family members, such as her aunt and mother, as well as a South Korean YouTuber known for covering controversies, confirmed the situation. According to these sources, the relationship began in 2015, when Kim Se-ron was only 15 and Kim Soo Hyun was 27. However, the actor's agency, after initially denying the claims, later confirmed that the relationship did happen, but claimed it occurred between 2019 and 2020, when the actress was already of legal age. After the car accident caused by Kim Se-ron in 2021, while driving under the influence of alcohol, the company Gold Medalist, founded by Kim Soo Hyun's cousin, Lee Se-rong, and Kim Mi-hye, a friend of the actor who had been working with him since 2009, covered the costs related to the incident, totaling 700 million won, approximately $480,000. Later, allegations emerged that Kim Soo Hyun pressured Kim Se-ron to reimburse that amount. The actor's agency denied these accusations, stating that the notification sent to the actress was not intended to pressure her, but rather to comply with legal and accounting regulations. And of course, as always happens in South Korea in such cases, the consequences for Kim Soo Hyun were immediate. He lost important contracts with major brands, such as Prada, and was removed from projects. Rumors even suggest that the actor temporarily left South Korea to avoid public scrutiny. It is important to note that the entire situation escalated after the death of Kim Se-ron in February 2025, in a case ruled as suicide. This already makes the entire story somewhat suspicious. Some people began indirectly blaming Kim Soo Hyun, claiming that the financial and emotional pressure she suffered was intensified by the actor. In other words, they are accusing the actor of playing a significant role in Se-ron's suicide. But is there any truth to this? When discussing Kim Soo Hyun's case, it's essential to separate proven facts from what still lies in the realm of speculation. The strongest accusations came from Kim Se-ron's family members, such as her aunt and mother, and from a South Korean YouTuber known for engaging in controversies. However, as of the posting of this video, no concrete evidence has been presented to support this version of the story. The actor's agency, which initially denied any romantic involvement with Kim Se-ron, later confirmed that the relationship did exist, but only after the actress had reached legal age. Still, many question whether this response was an attempt to minimize the impact of the controversy. Another point that sparked major repercussions was the car accident caused by Kim Se-ron in 2021 when she was driving under the influence of alcohol. After the incident, the company Gold Medalist, as previously mentioned, covered the costs related to the accident. This amount included material damages, compensation to business owners whose establishments were affected by the power outage caused by the crash, and other legal expenses. However, rumors surfaced that Kim Soo Hyun had pressured Kim Se-ron to reimburse this amount, which led to even more criticism. But again, so far, there is simply no concrete evidence proving that the actor personally pressured the actress to cover the accident's expenses. This is basically information given by family members and a low credibility YouTuber. And since Se-ron has already passed away and can no longer share her side of the story, it becomes a matter of their word against Kim Soo Hyun's. And according to the principle of law, anyone is innocent until proven guilty. In other words, no one can be accused and punished without proof, at least not in democratic countries. And that's exactly what's happening in this case. Despite all this information still being surrounded by doubts and speculations with no concrete evidence, Kim Soo Hyun is already facing severe consequences without being able to defend himself. He has been facing growing rejection from both the Korean and international public and media. Rumors suggest that the actor temporarily left South Korea to try to escape the massive pressure and intense criticism he's receiving there. What's most alarming is the speed at which these consequences occurred. Within just days or even hours, Kim Soo Hyun went from being one of Korea's most beloved actors to being seen as a villain, even though the accusations have not been properly investigated. And this raises an essential question: why the rush to cancel someone before investigations are concluded? Why not demand concrete proof for such serious accusations? Why not allow the accused at least a chance to defend themselves and share their side of the story before being publicly condemned? This need to judge quickly based on rumors and partial information is dangerous, and the consequences are often irreversible. A career built over years can be destroyed in just a few days. A public image can be permanently tarnished, even if innocence is proven later. And it's not like this is something new. South Korea already has a painful history of cases where premature judgment almost destroyed careers, and in some instances, entire lives. It's impossible not to think about how Kim Soo Hyun might be walking down the same tragic path as other Korean celebrities. A recent example is Kim Seon-ho. In 2021, the actor, who was at the peak of his success thanks to the drama Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, was accused by an ex-girlfriend of having forced her to have an abortion. The news spread like wildfire, and within hours, Seon-ho saw his career crumble. Contracts with renowned brands were cancelled, projects were suspended, and a public opinion turned against him. But after all the destruction, the truth came out. The story was more complex than it first seemed. Text messages and statements from people close to the couple showed that Seon-ho hadn't pressured anyone, but by then, the damage was already done. And what was most shocking? The people who attacked the actor so violently simply moved on when the truth came to light. And now, Kim Soo Hyun seems to be walking the same path. An accusation, a quick judgment, and a heavy price paid before any defense is heard. Another shocking case was that of Nam Joo-hyuk. In 2022, he was accused of bullying in school. Within days, his public image was ruined. Just like Kim Soo Hyun now, he lost contracts, faced boycotts, and saw his career almost collapse. But after investigations, the accusations turned out to be baseless. Friends, classmates, and teachers defended the actor, disproving the rumors. However, the doubt had already been planted, and Nam Joo-hyuk's image was never the same. And all of this happened because of a rushed judgment. Unfortunately, in some cases, the consequences were even more devastating. Actress Sully, one of the most well-known stars in K-pop and acting, faced years of attacks and criticism for her personal choices and behavior that went against conservative Korean norms. The pressure became so overwhelming that in 2019, she took her own life. Society only realized the weight of its cruelty when it was already too late. But was any lesson really learned? We've ended up witnessing a very similar situation unfold before our eyes with Kim Se-ron, and now, apparently, with Kim Soo Hyun. The same pressure, the same attacks are repeating themselves. And if he didn't have a strong emotional foundation, what could happen? It's impossible not to wonder, to what extent are the public and media willing to pressure someone without evidence, without giving them a chance to defend themselves? Are we going to wait for something irreversible to happen again, only to once again regret it when it's too late? This whole discussion leads us to a conclusion that, while simple, seems increasingly forgotten. Judging too soon is dangerous and unfair. And Kim Soo Hyun's case is proof of that. In just a few days, he saw his reputation destroyed by accusations that, so far, have no concrete proof, all based solely on words. Have you stopped to think that maybe he's paying too high a price? And this isn't just about Kim Soo Hyun, it's about the danger of being swept up in rushed judgments, driven by social media and the eagerness to point out the next villain. The internet has created a court where sentences are given even before defense can begin, where an accusation becomes the truth simply because it's been shared enough. But is that really the kind of justice we want to support? Of course, accusers must be heard, and serious accusations deserve attention and investigation. But the least anyone deserves is the right to defend themselves before being canceled and publicly condemned. Ignoring this is acting with cruelty and irresponsibility. And what if we're wrong? What if, in the end, it all turns out to be a misunderstanding or a distorted story, as has happened so many times before? What's left after destroying a career, or worse, contributing to the loss of a life? Because once the damage is done, there's no turning back. That's why the question I leave is simple. Isn't it better to wait for the facts before delivering a verdict? Because if we get it wrong again, regret won't bring anyone back.